Good morning, Facebook family and friends, and you, my YouTube subscribers. Today is Wednesday. It is December the 3rd of 2014. In the news recently, back to Ferguson. The day of the Ferguson verdict, Michael Brown's stepfather became very angry when it was announced that Darren Wilson would not be indicted for the murder of his stepson. So he became very angry. He jumped up on the car. He was hugging Michael Brown's mother, and he just lost it and started screaming and hollering that burn this bitch down. He was very angry. I get that. I understood. When I saw the video clip, it just kind of struck me really, really hard because I understood the anger that he felt. Now, when that man jumped up on that car, the first thing I did notice is that his pants was hanging off his ass and his underwear was showing. Now, that could have been because he jumped up on the stage car, whatever. Michael Brown's mother was standing on, but that caught my eye. And then when he was screaming and yelling, his burn this bitch down, certain behavior just seemed almost just. And let me state this. I am a proud African American. I love who I am. I'm proud of being black. My mother's black. My father's black. My entire family members are black. We have deep Southern roots. My father's from Mississippi. My father couldn't read nor write. My mother's from Alabama. They came from very poverty-stricken backgrounds. My father worked for, so I'm very proud of who I am. But it seems as if African Americans or Black Americans, whatever y'all want to be called today, we're taking a step back in time. And I don't know how to say this because I never really thought that my father was a conservative black man because I never saw my father doing certain stuff that I see men doing today that are his age. My father was 30, 40, 50. The ignorance that I see today in Black America is astounding. You have men who are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who are walking around in the black community and they are the most ignorant individuals you could ever meet. It's almost as if we're going backwards. When Michael Brown's stepfather jumped up on that car, stage, platform, whatever it was, and started yelling and screaming in anger, he showed his ignorance. And I hate to say this because I know that man he was angry that day. But I'm finding that the more I hang around the African American community, I now live in East Atlanta, which is, I used to live up in Buckhead. I lived in Buckhead for 10 years. And now I'm back down in East Atlanta. Buckhead was predominantly white. We were one of the very few black, although it's in the city of Atlanta, the neighborhood we lived in, there were very few African Americans, Black Americans, whatever y'all want to be called today. There was very few black folks living there, very few. The neighborhood was predominantly white. So now we're back in East Atlanta, and we're down in an area where home prices range from $50,000 to $500,000 to $700,000. The area is going through gentrification. So it's going through gentrification, so you have a lot of African Americans who still live here in this neighborhood. You have a lot of poverty. There's a ton of poverty. You have a lot of poor blacks in this area. You have a lot of wealthy whites. And I don't know how else to describe it. You got a bunch of poor blacks and a bunch of wealthy whites. And there really is no middle ground because the middle class blacks don't want to live in this neighborhood. I have a few middle class black friends who live, a few gay black friends who have moved into this area. And some of the people, one of the friends, he's been over here for 10 years. The area is not pretty. It's rough. And we have to go travel outside this area to go to a decent grocery store, even a restaurant, and go out to eat. I don't mind it because the traffic is not bad over here. When we lived in Buckhead, traffic was a nightmare. Over here, you can get in and out of here. I don't care what time it is. You can hit these streets, and you can go. There's no traffic. So I love that aspect of it. But what I don't like what I really hate, I've never dealt with so many ignorant black people in my entire life. There's a Walmart around the corner. There's a Kroger around the corner. You know, even Earl said he won't go into that Walmart. I go there because I have some of my medicines, prescription medicines there, so I go there and pick that stuff up. But I've never ran into so many ignorant black people in my entire life. My God, it's just sad. It's really sad. And I'll be very honest with you. We were looking at buying a house over in this area, and we're still looking at homes. There are a lot of new homes they're building. I just don't know if I can tolerate the ignorance with these black folks. I just don't want to. I'm reaching a point in my life. I'm 44 years of age. I'll be 45 next year. Black folks are taking such a drastic turn. We're going backwards. And I'm getting to reach a point where I don't want to be bothered with black folks. I just don't. I don't know if I want to deal with the ignorance right next door. I don't think it's just intolerable right at this point. When I drive through this neighborhood, every time you go to get gas, Earl, he won't do anything in this neighborhood. He drives out. I'll get gas. I'll go to the CVS. I'll go to the Family Dollar. They got some good deals at Family Dollar. Yes, I will go to that Family Dollar. We got about 3 or 4 of them over here. I try to hit each one, especially go to the clearance aisle and see what's on clearance. I like a good deal. But Family Dollar got some horrible customers. The ignorance is astounding. Oh my God, I've never seen so many ignorant black folks. You just sit back and say, oh my God. What? Are they serious? The sad part is now I'm starting to get more women with children begging for money in the store. Oh, we don't have any money. Can you? Right inside the store. I'm like, are you serious? We're in Kroger, and they walk up to you begging. You can't go to Kroger, Walmart, Family Dollar, or a gas station in this area without some of these poor folks with their children, women with children, or men with children, in some cases, entire families begging for money. And so I have a heart. And I hate this. And when you see a woman standing there with kids, and the kids are standing there, she's asking for money, I'll reach into my wallet. If I have some, and I'll give them a couple of ones, I'll $5. If I have it to give, I will give. And to be honest with you, I make sure I got some change. Because one time I gave this lady a $20 bill, and I was thinking, okay, but she really needed it. But I don't mind helping, but it's starting to get aggravating that you can't go about your day and go shopping and have a normal life in this community in East Atlanta without dealing with the ignorance. And then the crime level is outrageous over here. They've had murders, shootings. We live on Boulder Crest Road. They've had about 3 or 4 murders on the street. And the police are everywhere. Everywhere. I've seen the SWAT team numerous times. I don't know if they're stationed over here, but every time I look at my window, I see the SWAT team going racing down the street going, so I'm like, okay. The ignorant, we've gone backwards. And I look back at my teenage years, when I was a kid, and I just don't remember. I'm from Gary, Indiana. I know Gary has this reputation as being a bad place, but I don't remember seeing the type of poverty that I'm witnessing today. That this is just horrible, and it's just in the ignorance. Oh boy, Y'all would have to come over here and really live in this community to see the ignorance that I see over here in East Atlanta. It is astounding. And I'll talk to my white neighbors, and they view it differently. They're like, oh, they're leaving, they're changing, the neighborhood's changing, and it is true, because I'm looking at more and more evictions taking place, and you drive by a house, a black family's there, you come back by next day, and you know that they're moving or tossed out. You still got a ton of foreclosures over here in East Atlanta. I'm still surprised at the amount of foreclosures that are still taking place in this community, mainly older homes. There really is no market for these houses because once these houses, a builder buys these homes, they just tear them down and build a new construction, which is then priced from the upper $299,000 to $500,000, depending on the size of the house. They're building some beautiful homes over here. But the neighbors, the community, is just like, wow, I really want to be bothered with this again. Like I said, I'm 44 years of age. And I hate it. Every time I don't know. I want to stay in the community and be involved in the community. I just can't tolerate this ignorance. And that goes back to Michael Brown's stepfather jumping on that platform. The whole Ferguson community. And, I've looked at those pictures. And I'm not trying to criticize and be critical of African Americans, but I've looked very closely at the media attention, at the videos and photographs that have come out of Ferguson, and all I saw was a bunch of men with tattoos and pants hanging off their asses. Just when they talk to these people, they're just so ignorant. They can't even put a sentence together. Now, I have seen interviews of some activists out there that those interviews are a little bit better. But when they talk to the people of Ferguson, I'm literally blown away by the level of ignorance. It's like, wow. And that's not only in Ferguson, Missouri, which is a whole nother video, because I know St. Louis, Missouri y'all don't get offended by this, but St. Louis, Missouri got a whole bunch of ignorant black folks out there. I've been there. St. Louis. I've been to St. Louis. I've seen the ignorance in St. Louis. It's something else. We're going backwards for some reason. Black Americans are taking a trip. You would think that we would be moving forward. We get a black president. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some very educated, articulate black folks everywhere. They're out there. But by far and large, they're outnumbered 10 to 1 by ignorant black people. It's everywhere. And it's in every city. In every family, including my own family. I went home for Thanksgiving. I said, I've never seen so many children, pregnant women. I'm like, what in the hell's going on? Let me eat Thanksgiving and get my ass back home. That's what I did. I don't know what's going on with Black America. And it's said that you would think in 2014 that we would be making progress. But sadly, we are not. We seem to be taking... There's a segment of Black Americans, a small segment, Black Americans, African Americans, who are moving forward. They're getting educated. They're making a decent income. A small segment, of African Americans, they're making leaps and bounds. They're doing great. But then there's a large section of African Americans who are going backwards. They're not. We live in an era of education. We have the internet. We have access. How could so many African Americans still be running out here so ignorant? It's just astounding to me. The level of ignorance in Black America just astounds me. I see it every day. Even when I go to the gym, I talk to these brothers. I say, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Really? You this ignorant? And I hate to put my brothers and sisters down because it shouldn't be this way. Not in 2014. Something's going terribly awry. That we have so much ignorance still in our communities. It's just... Anyway, that's my rant for the day about these Indian black folks. In the Ferguson incident, and Michael Brown's stepfather, they think about in charging him with inciting a riot because of his behavior that day. So we have to see what happens with that. Again, maybe he was angry, but his whole demeanor, it's just something. I'm not trying to be critical because I know that man was going through something that day. They were expecting Officer Darren Wilson, to be indicted for murder. He wasn't. I wasn't expecting that to happen. But they were really hoping that would happen out there, and it didn't happen. And maybe that just ticked him off. Maybe. Anyway, I'd love to hear you guys' views and comments. What do you think about Black America? What's wrong with us today? Why are Black Americans stuck and going backwards in time? Now, I know a lot of people who watch my videos, I know that you all probably don't fall into that category because, like I said, it's a small segment of African Americans, Black Americans who are making great strides. They're doing wonderful things. But there's a large segment of African Americans, a large segment of Black Americans who are stuck in poverty, ignorance. It's just sad. And I wonder, how can these people ever one day break free from that cycle? If it's possible. Anyway, if you like my videos, please click like. Share my videos with family members and friends. I can't wait to read you guys' comments. And I'm out of here. Enjoy your Wednesday. It's December the 3rd, 2014, and have a great day. I'm out. Bye.